Hey, it's Mike Henry. Okay, so what was my role in GTM? I oversaw performance product GTM for ALCS for 3 years, from about 2015 to 2018. At the time, that included search, apps, measurement, and display. After that, I returned to LCS in an ID role overseeing financial services, and today I'm in a hybrid role where I oversee the apps vertical for ALCS and also the apps specialist team. When did I know it was time to make a career pivot? Let me first talk about making the pivot from sales into GTM. I was not actually all that excited to make that pivot, but Margot Georgiadis, who was back then in the seat that Sean's in now, and some of my mentors told me that working in GTM would allow me to learn to impact at scale and influence without authority, and also get closer to product. And that's exactly what the GTM experience turned out to be for me. But after 3 years in that role, I felt like we'd had good success driving changes in terms of both seller behavior and also shaping the product roadmap. And once I started experiencing patterns for the third time I wrote the America's Performance Plan, I knew that it was probably time to move on and do something new. How did it feel to make the transition into sales? Well, I'd worked in sales previously, so moving back into LCS was pretty smooth. But moving back into ALCS with GTM experience made me so much better. I knew how to define and articulate a growth strategy. I knew how to prioritize, and I had a much better sense of how to navigate Google's complex matrix to get things done. And I learned all of that in GTM. What advice would I share with GTMers about a pivot into sales? I'm a huge proponent. I think great salespeople come from all sorts of backgrounds and experiences. And the Google way of selling is all about earning credibility as your customer's strategic advisor. So if you are curious about sales, go for it. It may take a few tries to get the sales role you want, but there is learning in the process. And I think sales is a great career. And if you can do it with GTM experience in your back pocket, all the better.
Hi everyone, my name is Antonia and I'm currently about to wrap up GTM Bungie for 6 months, where I went from being head of industry in our large customer sales business to supporting the sales GTM and the specialist retail team specifically. In terms of the skills that I think that they're more transferable, that helped me make the transition, I would say influencing senior leaders, strategic planning, and cross-functional collaboration. I think all of those three you get to experience in the day-to-day with customers. You're influencing CMOs, you're helping with long-term partnership plans, and you need to connect the dots across multiple teams within customers to move projects forward. Those skills, as you all know because you're GTMers, are very important to what you do. So I would say, if for anyone interested in sales, I wouldn't be shy of showcasing the skills that you have internally, because when we talk with customers and when we work especially with large customers and senior leaders, our job is to really influence them, influence the C-level to understand how to best use our solutions, how to best structure their team, how to best measure the ROI of what they do with Google. And what I've found over the years is that a lot of the questions or the big things we need to solve are customer problems that go well beyond marketing or media. A lot of times CMOs look at us to see how they should structure their teams, how should they incentivize their teams, and those are things that I think GTM has a lot of experience in, and it could be extremely helpful for our customers. On the other side, it could also be super helpful for you to understand what their clients really care and what do sellers really care. What I'm taking back to my sales team is understanding how the machine works, which is what you all do. And the other way around will be understanding what do sellers work to incorporate that in all the design. If anyone wants to talk about exploring sales with GTM experience, you know where to find me and I will be happy to chat.
Hello GTM, it is K-Mac coming at you from Chicago. Wherever you are today, I hope you're having an incredible day. You are working at an organization that truly makes a difference at Google, the GTM organization. I was in GTM 4.5 years ago, specifically focused on product GTM on our video and measurement side of the house, working with our GCAS partners. And I learned so much while I was in the GTM org. I worked with some of the most incredible leaders. I learned so many new skills and new ways of working that are just smarter. And I hope that all of you are enjoying your time in this incredible organization that we call GTM. One of the things that I took away in my time in GTM that I carry forward with me every single day is this notion of champion and challenger. To be an effective partner, to be an effective coach and leader, to effectively solve problems and make good decisions, really balancing that champion and challenger mindset and leading with inquiry makes such a difference in how you can get from point A to point B. And that's a really important skill that I learned specifically being in the GTM organization. And one piece of advice that I have for every single one of you, whether you've been in GTM for a long time or you're new to the organization, is truly embrace the notion of feedback. We say a lot that feedback is a gift, and it really is if you really sit down and think about what that is. For me personally, the feedback, the constructive, critical feedback that I received has truly helped me grow from what I say I was a manager to now being a leader. I really embraced and listened to what those words were and really thought back and reflected on what those words meant to make sure every step forward I would take a different path. And that is truly a gift. So for all of you, truly embrace the notion of feedback because it will help all of you grow and be so successful in your careers.